If you need to present a list of values, you have three choices to work with. You could present a series of decimal numbers, non-decimal numbers, or a set of string values, floating point, integer, or text values. Now, to configure a list field, in this case, we'll look specifically at a list text field, you're going to assign an allowed values list, and then the standard settings we've already seen, such as label and so on. Now, this allowed values list is set as a series of key label pairs, where the key is the value that will be stored in the database, and the label is what is presented to the user. Now, if you only provide one value, it will be used as both the key and the label, but you do have the choice to offer both here. Now, for lists, multiple widgets are available. You have a choice of displaying them as checkboxes or radio buttons, or you could use a select control. Now, in this case, the number of value settings that we've looked at will determine the specific widget that's going to be used. If you set a field to accept only one value, then you're going to have radio buttons or a single select control based on the widgets that you've chosen. If you set this to 2 to 10 or unlimited values, then you'll get checkboxes or a multiple select control. Let's put this to work. So in the application, I will once again go to Structure Content Types for my book, Manage Fields, and in this case, I'm going to add a new field I'll call Format, because we want to capture whether it's hardback, softback, or an audiobook. So because my values will be hardback, softback, or audio, I'm going to choose a list text field, and to begin with, I'm going to use a select list. So with those set, I'll go ahead and save. And then I have to complete the allowed values list. Now, I'm going to go ahead and have different values stored in the database from what I present as labels to the user. So I'll assign those three values. Note that you could configure with HTML for the labels and so on and so forth, so this could be much more elaborate, for example, with embedded images. I'll save those settings, and here we see our standard settings such as label, help text, etc. And to begin with, I do want a multiple select control. I'm going to set this so that unlimited values could be selected from the list. I'll go ahead and save these settings, and we now have our format field. I'll go to Find Content and go through and edit one of my books. I'll edit Ulysses here. Scroll down, and here we have added to the bottom of the list the format field, where I could choose, for example, hardback and paperback. I'll go ahead and save these settings, and when I go through to View, we see that hardback and paperback appear as the format selected. Now, as we saw, we do have a choice of widgets. I could go back to my book, go into Manage Fields, and I could go through and reach this through my edit operations, or I can also just click on the widget here on the Manage Fields screen. But I'm going to go in and change my widget from a select list to checkboxes or radio buttons, click through, and then I will go back to my book Ulysses, edit, and now we see that the format in use on the edit form is checkboxes, and because those values are already set, we see checkboxes there.